Time now to catch up with the women's basketball coach, Carrie Green. A media day here in Concord, North Carolina. What does this day signify for you, Coach?
Well, it's just a new beginning, and you can hear the buzz and all the excitement of every team, men and women. So it signifies really initial start of the season.
Preseason number 4, all the coaches, players, downplay that, rightfully so. When you see the polls, top to bottom, how competitive will this league be this year?
Well, I think it will be very competitive. We obviously got some teams that are returning a lot of players, so you can understand why they would be seated real high and recognized as favorites. And right now we're sort of uncertain with our own team, but I love this team. They're really working hard, giving a great effort and their intensity every day. So good things are going to happen with this team, and it's sort of relaxing not to have a bullseye on you or a red dot, So I think our expectations is always going to be to be the best we possibly can be. So we're ready to get to work and get into the season play.
Brenda Montckirkpatrick, the head coach of Asheville, who was picked number 1, referenced playing Liberty in her opening comments today. To know that the reputation is still there and hasn't waned any, how does that make you feel as a head coach going into this season?
Well, there is recognized history and tradition, and there's been a lot of ladies work very hard to get that. And with the exit of a lot of seniors and leadership, it's just expected that the unknown, and that's what we've got, a lot of unknown but very talented young ladies, that they understand their tradition, and we build upon that. Yet as you go into the season, it is what are you doing today? What are you doing right now? And maximize and season the moment to be their very best. And we do look back at the history, and we discuss what makes us successful, because I think there's some great teaching points even with that.
You laced them up against Duke on November the 11th at the Vine Center. If you had to play today, I'm not asking you for a starting 5, but what do you think the makeup of your team would be on the court if we had to lace them up today?
Well, I'm certainly going to have to play a lot of people. Duke's going to be very talented, and right now we haven't had a lot of players just separate themselves. It's a good, strong 11, 12 core group. So with that, we need to play maybe a fast pace, get a lot of people involved, and hopefully they can get in rhythm. It's unfortunately, it's not unfortunate, but the game of basketball is sort of a rhythm game, and you need some time sometimes to be in rhythm. Right now we haven't had enough players in practice be consistent to really say, okay, here's your starting 5 or 6 players that we can rotate. But I think that's a strength. I always like to go in battle with more than one bullet, or go hunting with more than one arrow, one bullet.
Or more than one lure if you go fishing. Right?
You're right. So those things, you just got to have more options.
Today, one of your former players, Astrid Reininger, was honored by the Big South. What's it like to have her still connected to your program, and even beyond her, you still have a couple of connections on the floor, Shayna and Redstadt, who have won championships for you before. How important is that, building and sustaining that culture, you think?
Well, those players, either they're on the court or they're around you, they know the tradition. And within the community, we've got 2 nurses as well, too, that are always hanging out or coming to tailgate parties. And our players start picking that up, and they understand what is expected. And our expectations from a coaching perspective hasn't changed. But to have Audrey or Shayna, to come in and say, look, I've been through this. This is what we do. This is how we roll, so to speak. And young players who know they have to make some adjustments are excited, and that's what's sort of it is fun. This classroom is unique and different, and I've got a lot of motivated student athletes right now, and it's fun to work with right now.
As they say, Coach, tradition never dies, and it is not going to with your program. Best luck as you start the campaign coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Alan.
That's head women's basketball coach Carrie Green.